All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Big Worm Surge Sartora here with my very special guests. I have with me CEO, co-founder Frank Speiser, and I also have co-founder and CBDO Matt Cross, and with us from the future in Australia, one of your esteemed moderators, Yeti. Good evening,
Hey,
Yeti. All right,
How's
so
it?
we had a really great space today. It really started off a week of, getting to know our origin story, specifically Frank, your origin story. Talked about sort of the lead up, to Metafide, why Metafide, and then some of the origin around that. So, as we were kind of talking here, before this weekend, always great to hear that, taking a step back, looking at things from a big picture, and from a big picture, where we going vision wise. So I thought it was really great. For those of you that did miss it, you really should tune into it. It should be on like a must listen playlist for Metafide. But I found it enjoyable myself because it's always good to hear the history because I've known you for 30 years. So with that being said, Frank, you want to comment on the space today?
Greetings, Earthlings. Yeah, so it was great. Essentially, we talked people through how we got to this point in Metafide and told the story of my previous company where we built this really big publishing business for media and set up a private exchange and wound up funding media to the point where they could afford to not serve their audience, and that seemed like something wrong introduced to the world. It was successful business, company sold. And when I look back at what we did, we didn't help the world get more truthful. We didn't help the world serve the people better. And with Metafide, what we want to do is we want to make things better for people and use the technology to help people participate in the financial system in a way that helps them, but doesn't make it so hard and so clicky and so inaccessible that they have to jump through a bunch of hoops and feel like they're on the outside looking in. So what Metafide is essentially is an on-ramp into crypto and DeFi and all these other terms that people hear thrown around in a way that makes sense visually, culturally, makes sense to people. Okay, I'm going to apply AI to financial markets and that's going to create a yield. Well, great. Everybody could probably agree to that, but how do you get involved with that, right? So one is just hold the FI token. The other is play our predictive games to help add signal to our ability to transact the tokens on the market. So we have a hedge fund client business line of business for us, and we use the signal from the games to help them transact. But we also are planning to transact their own pools and help people gain a share of that value as well. So the token itself will have value. It'll be set by the market, but it's deflationary in the sense that we're burning tokens out of the market, and we want to get people involved in a way that doesn't require such a huge lift in the beginning and iterate them into being involved with the way finance is going to change. It's not really fair to expect people to be AI experts. It's not really fair to have a buddy at a country club or they went to prep school with that tips you to things. Like, the finance system shouldn't work like that. We're all on this planet together, and we have to find a way to transact with one another, hopefully in a way that's fair, that we can introduce more peace and trust into the world. And trust isn't something that we have to just like shake my hand, I'm a great guy. We can just trust math. So by setting up good contracts and setting up ways to fairly compensate people for the alpha they put into the system, create a levered payout situation for people who are right, correct, early. Those are all things that we're trying to do, and we've done it. And that's the great thing. We talked a little bit about the team and how great the team chemistry is and why it feels so good to get up and go to work. And honestly, I just wanted to thank the audience at the end there because, without the people there, this doesn't mean a whole lot, right? So we're doing it for them, and it's instant feedback that we get. They participate in us building this, and we're with a great group of people internally and close to the company and in our audience that we literally do have a chance to change things. You don't get that too often. So when you look at what did I do, what could this possibly mean to everybody? Well, it could mean a better way to do financial transactions, a better way to hold assets, a better way to figure out what assets are worth, so that you don't get caught up in some hype marketing scheme and get swept under the rug. Matt mentioned, he likes to work for what he gets. And I think the average person out there that has some noble, you know, impulse in them with some heart and some sense of fairness, like that's all people want. So let's all build that together, right? That's what we're doing.
Well said, Frank. And speaking of Matt, I mean, you were part of the origin story there of Metafide, and you had some great, comments on the call today. What are your thoughts on today's space?
Yeah, I was going to talk little bit about the VC funding. I saw people start to fund ideas that I didn't fully believe in anymore. I started to see people try to, build consumer applications where the UI UX for the entire industry wasn't there yet, so we didn't have an infrastructure to support that. I saw a lot of large amounts of money get poured into ideas that continued to segment up the space. And I also saw a ton of grifters come in who didn't actually care about the origins of DeFi or the origins of Bitcoin or crypto, and they just wanted to make quick money grabs, and they started funding liquidity schemes out there. So I decided to join Frank because he's a founder I believed in more than anyone else, and I believed in myself and some of the talents, connections, and other things I had done prior in my VC world. I could bridge into Metafide to help everyone succeed over here as well.
Great, Matt. Great, Matt. And Yeti, I guess you and I are like, I guess we're Gen 2. Gen 2, the origin story. Yeah, Matt, it's okay. It's okay. That's where, we're in the trilogy there somewhere.
The
And
second book, I'd like to think. Yeah.
that's right. Empire Strikes Back. That's the best part of the original trilogy of Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, you're instrumental in helping build this amazing fanatical community that we talked about in the space today. I mean, your comments on the space today.
Yeah, I just love listening to the team talk about this big picture kind of stuff. Like, it is always so inspiring. And the community love it too. I mean, it's like the way in which they kind of bring it all together, this big picture stuff in with their plans for kind of taking the community along for that ride. It's really inspiring. I love today's space. It was great.
Yeah,
That's great.
just one point of clarification. I will agree. Empire Strikes Back is the best of the original Star Wars trilogy, and all of them. Actually, it's the best of all of them. But the company's official position and my personal position is we are in no way interested in helping the Empire strike back.
Thanks for adding the caveat. I think that was really critical. Yeah. Okay. Well, great space today. Great recap. And we'll see everyone here back on Thursday.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers.